As the years go by, we all change in ways that are both visible and invisible. But have you ever stopped to reflect on the small, almost imperceptible habits that sneak into your daily life as you grow older? These are the quirks, routines, and behaviors that quietly shape who you are, but not always for the better. The truth is, some of these habits can be downright unattractive, and what's even more surprising is how easily they go unnoticed. Imagine this: what if the way you're living today could slowly be pushing people away, limiting your happiness, or even holding you back from living your best life? It's not an easy thought to confront, but here's the good news: awareness is the first step to change. In this video, we're diving into 15 of these so-called ugly behaviors that might just be creeping into your life as you age. Some of them may feel uncomfortably familiar, while others might make you stop and think, could that really be me? Stay tuned, because by the end, you'll not only recognize these habits but also walk away with a fresh perspective and perhaps a renewed sense of motivation to make some positive changes. Let's uncover the unseen together. Now, turning to the first of these habits, let's talk about neglecting physical appearance. As we age, it's easy for routines to settle in, comfort to take priority, and the idea of "no one cares anyway" to creep into our minds. Slowly but surely, grooming habits or personal style might start to slip. You might find yourself letting go of skincare routines that once felt essential, wearing clothes that are well past their prime, or skipping haircuts because it feels like too much effort. Over time, the focus on how you present yourself to the world can fade into the background, replaced by practicality or an assumption that appearance no longer matters. But here's the thing: taking care of how you look isn't just about vanity. It's about self-respect, confidence, and the ripple effect it has on how others perceive and interact with you. Maintaining your physical appearance can be a small but powerful way of saying, "I value myself," and while the pressures of youth to look perfect may no longer apply, finding a balance between comfort and care can make a big difference. After all, feeling good in your own skin often starts with what you see in the mirror. Moving forward, let's explore the psychological causes behind neglecting physical appearance as we grow older. For many, reduced self-esteem plays a significant role. Life's challenges, shifting roles, or even subtle societal messages can lead people to question their worth, making self-care feel less like a priority and more like an afterthought. Coupled with this is often a lack of motivation driven by the belief that appearance matters less with age, or the exhausting demands of daily life leaving little energy for personal upkeep. Then there's the heavy weight of societal pressures, or perhaps the lack thereof. For older individuals, the world tends to place less emphasis on physical appearance, subtly suggesting that looking good is a young person's game. This can create a sense of invisibility where making an effort feels futile. But the good news is, these patterns can be shifted with intentionality and simple habits. Start by building self-care routines that feel manageable and enjoyable, whether it's a weekly skincare ritual or taking 10 minutes each morning to put together an outfit that makes you feel confident. Remind yourself that taking care of your appearance is not superficial, it's a form of self-love and self-respect. Embrace the idea that confidence at any age can be magnetic, and it often starts with how you carry yourself. Small changes like maintaining good posture, smiling more often, or treating yourself to an occasional haircut or wardrobe update can reignite that motivation. By rejecting the feeling of invisibility and focusing on your own well-being, you might find a renewed sense of pride in how you present yourself to the world. Now, turning to the next challenge, let's discuss how becoming cynical can quietly creep into our lives as we grow older. Life, with all its twists and turns, tends to leave its mark. Disappointments, broken expectations, or moments of loss can stack up over the years, sometimes clouding our outlook. This accumulation can tilt us toward negativity, where we begin to see the glass as perpetually half empty. Take, for instance, the common tendency to dismiss younger generations by labeling them as inexperienced or overly reliant on technology, forgetting that once we too were young, eager, and figuring it all out. Or consider how some resist embracing advancements like smart devices or social media, viewing them as unnecessary complications rather than opportunities to connect or learn something new. These small, habitual criticisms may feel trivial in the moment, but over time they shape how others perceive us and, more importantly, how we perceive the world. While it's easy to rationalize this mindset as wisdom born from experience, the truth is that cynicism often builds walls, isolating us from fresh ideas, vibrant energy, and meaningful relationships. Recognizing this tendency is the first step toward breaking the cycle. What if, instead of judging unfamiliar trends, we approach them with curiosity? Asking a younger person to explain their favorite app or sharing in their excitement for something new could open doors to mutual understanding and even spark joy. After all, staying open to change and maintaining a sense of wonder isn't just for the young, it's a choice we can make at any stage in life. As the next challenge unfolds, let's explore how negativity, often rooted in cynicism, can quietly erode our relationships over time. When we allow a critical mindset to take hold, it can manifest in subtle behaviors, quick judgments, dismissive comments, or a lack of enthusiasm during conversations. These moments might feel insignificant, but for the person on the receiving end, they can sting, creating emotional distance. Imagine a friend or family member sharing an idea or dream, only to be met with skepticism or a sarcastic remark. Over time, these small discouragements can accumulate, making others hesitant to open up or share their thoughts with us. Negativity, while often unintentional, sends a message that we're not fully present or supportive, which can weaken even our closest bonds. But here's the good news: just as negativity can push people away, a positive perspective can draw them closer. To break the habit, start by practicing active listening. Instead of immediately responding with doubt or criticism, take a moment to truly hear and validate what the other person is saying. Try phrases like, "That's an interesting point," or "Tell me more about that," to show genuine curiosity and encouragement. Small shifts like this can make a world of difference. Additionally, focus on gratitude. When tempted to critique, pause and reflect on what you appreciate about the person or situation. Gratitude has a way of softening our outlook and fostering connection. Lastly, don't shy away from humor and lightheartedness. Sharing a laugh or a kind word can break through barriers and remind others of your warmth. By choosing positivity, we not only strengthen our relationships but also open ourselves up to deeper, more meaningful connections. After all, the energy we bring to our interactions often shapes the way people remember us. So, why not aim to leave them with a sense of comfort and joy? As the next challenge unfolds, let's dive into a habit many of us might recognize but rarely address: hoarding possessions. Over the years, our homes tend to fill with items that once held meaning or seemed too valuable to part with. From those countless greeting cards you've been saving in a drawer to clothes you haven't worn in decades but might someday need, it's incredible how these things quietly pile up. At first glance, this habit might seem harmless or even practical. After all, who wouldn't want to hold onto keepsakes or avoid waste? But as time progresses, these possessions can begin to take up not only physical space but also mental space, weighing us down in ways we don't immediately realize. For example, have you ever walked into an overstuffed closet or garage and felt overwhelmed by the sheer volume of stuff? It's not just cluttering your home, it's cluttering your peace of mind. This attachment often stems from a very human place: our memories. That chipped mug reminds you of a vacation decades ago, or that pile of magazines represents your aspirations of projects you never got around to starting. While it's perfectly natural to hold onto things that carry sentimental value, the challenge lies in striking a balance. Holding on to everything can actually prevent us from fully enjoying the present as we're weighed down by the past. And let's be honest, sometimes it's just pure procrastination telling ourselves we'll deal with it later. But here's the thing, decluttering isn't about discarding your memories or erasing your history. It's about making room for what truly matters. Start small by tackling one area in your home, like a single drawer or shelf. As you sort through, ask yourself if the item truly serves a purpose or brings you joy. If not, it might be time to let it go. Humor can help here too. Think of it as giving these once-loved items a joyful retirement. Consider donating them to someone who can actually make use of them. Letting go can be liberating, freeing up not just your living space but also your mental clarity. By releasing what no longer serves you, you create more room both physically and emotionally for the new experiences and memories still to come. And really, isn't that what growing older gracefully is all about? With that in mind, let's move forward and uncover the emotional weight these habits can carry. Now turning to the emotional weight of clutter, it's important to recognize how hoarding habits don't just take a toll on our physical living spaces. They can deeply impact our mental well-being too. Imagine walking into a room where every surface is covered, drawers are jam-packed, and shelves are overflowing. The visual chaos can trigger feelings of stress and unease, making it harder to relax or focus. Clutter often creates a sense of unfinished business, as if the items around you are silently demanding attention, whether it's that stack of unread books or the boxes of maybe useful items stashed in the attic. This constant mental chatter can leave you feeling drained before you've even started your day. But the emotional weight doesn't stop there. For many, these possessions become a security blanket tied to memories or a fear of what if. What if I need this later? What if I'm throwing away a piece of who I used to be? These thoughts, while understandable, can keep us trapped in the past, preventing us from fully embracing the present or planning for the future. Let's not overlook the effect this can have on relationships too. A cluttered environment can lead to tension among family members, particularly if others feel overwhelmed by the shared space. So, how can we tackle this habit and lighten the load? Start by shifting your mindset from what if to what matters. Instead of holding onto items out of fear or guilt, focus on what genuinely adds value to your life. A powerful question to ask yourself is, does this item support the person I am today or the person I want to become? If not, consider letting it go. Adopting a minimalist mindset doesn't mean living in an empty house. It's about being intentional with what you choose to keep. Practical steps can make the process manageable. For instance, dedicate 15 minutes a day to decluttering or commit to removing one item for every new one you bring into your home. These small, consistent actions can lead to significant transformations over time. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. Involve loved ones or consider working with professional organizers who can guide you through the journey without judgment. The payoff is immense: a home that feels peaceful, a mind that feels clear, and the freedom to focus on what truly matters. As you let go of the excess, you create not only physical space but emotional room for joy, creativity, and new connections. With this fresh perspective, let's uncover another habit that quietly shapes the way we relate to the world around us. As the next challenge unfolds, let's discuss the overuse of nostalgia and how it can subtly distort our perception of the present. It's natural to cherish fond memories of the past, but obsessively holding onto them can create a rose-tinted view that makes today feel lackluster in comparison. You might catch yourself starting sentences with "back in my day," or dismissing modern trends as frivolous or inferior. While these habits may seem harmless, they can come across as dismissive or condescending, especially to younger generations who may feel their own experiences are being invalidated. Beyond interpersonal dynamics, overindulging in nostalgia can limit your willingness to engage with the present. Think about it. How can you fully appreciate or enjoy what's happening around you when your mind is constantly longing for a time that has already passed? This tendency can even lead to missed opportunities, like trying a new activity or embracing a fresh perspective, simply because it doesn't align with the sentimental ideal of how things used to be. It's worth noting that nostalgia isn't inherently negative. In moderation, reminiscing can bring comfort, inspiration, and a sense of identity. The challenge lies in finding balance. Instead of viewing the past as a golden age that can never be replicated, consider it as a foundation that builds toward an ever-evolving future. Shift your focus to the present by practicing mindfulness or exploring activities that excite and challenge you. For example, try swapping "back in my day" with a question like, "What's exciting about this new trend or idea?" This not only sparks curiosity but also fosters deeper connections with those around you. By stepping out of the nostalgia bubble and embracing the here and now, you'll find that every moment has its own unique value waiting to be discovered. With this in mind, let's delve into the next subtle yet significant habit that often arises with age. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let's explore how dwelling too much on the past can prevent you from fully experiencing the present. Imagine being so wrapped up in memories of what life used to be that you overlook the beauty, opportunities, and connections unfolding right here and now. It's easy to fall into this trap. After all, the past is familiar and comforting, offering a safe retreat whenever the present feels uncertain or challenging. But while moments from yesteryear may bring a sense of warmth, constantly living in that space can cloud your ability to see and embrace what's right in front of you. This mindset might hold you back from trying a new hobby, meeting new people, or even appreciating the small joys of everyday life, like savoring a conversation or discovering a new favorite book. The present might not feel as polished or predictable as your cherished memories, but it offers endless possibilities waiting to be explored with an open mind and heart. So how do you strike that balance between honoring the past and embracing the now? Start by giving yourself permission to try something new, no matter how small. Take a cooking class, learn a musical instrument, join a community group, or simply take a walk in an unfamiliar park. These small actions can spark curiosity and reignite a sense of wonder that might have been dimmed by nostalgia. Stay curious in your everyday life, ask questions, explore interests, and be willing to make mistakes along the way. Mindfulness is another powerful tool to stay connected to the present. By practicing mindfulness, you train your mind to focus on the here and now, appreciating each experience as it comes. For instance, rather than longing for how family gatherings used to be, focus on finding joy and meaning in how they are now, even if they've changed over time. Embrace the uniqueness of today without constantly comparing it to the past. The truth is, the past will always be there as a part of your story, but the present is where your life is happening. It's where growth, joy, and new memories are born. By stepping into the present with curiosity and mindfulness, you allow yourself to live a richer, fuller life. Now, turning to another common habit, let's talk about how the tendency to frequently complain can impact not only your mindset but also the atmosphere you create around you. Now, turning to the pattern of constant complaining, let's explore how this habit can quietly creep into daily life as you age, often without you even noticing. It might start with small frustrations, aches and pains, unpredictable weather, or changes in the neighborhood, but before you know it, complaints can dominate conversations and become a default response to challenges, big or small. While venting occasionally is natural, an ongoing tendency to complain can slowly shift the atmosphere around you. Picture this: you walk into a room and immediately start sharing everything that went wrong in your day. Before long, the energy in that space feels heavy, and others may instinctively pull back, unsure of how to engage or help. This habit not only affects your own mindset but can also influence how others perceive and react to you. For example, younger friends or family members might avoid certain topics or conversations altogether, fearing that their words will be met with criticism or negativity. Over time, this pattern can create a sense of isolation, even if unintentional, making it harder to connect and build meaningful relationships. The reality is, the more you focus on what's wrong, the less you notice what's right. To combat this, try replacing complaints with curiosity or gratitude. The next time you feel the urge to complain about long grocery store lines, think about the convenience of having access to so many options in one place. If changes in technology frustrate you, flip the narrative by considering the ways it's made life easier or more efficient. Practicing this shift doesn't mean ignoring genuine struggles, but rather challenging yourself to approach them with a different perspective. Reflect on what you can control and what you can adapt to instead of dwelling on what feels unfair or inconvenient. By doing so, you'll not only lighten your own mental load, but also create a more positive environment that draws people in rather than pushing them away. As we consider how this habit can impact relationships, let's dive into the specific ways persistent complaining can influence the younger generation and what steps can be taken to bridge that divide. Moving forward, let's examine how persistent complaining can shape your interactions with younger generations in unexpected ways. Imagine a young family member or a friend coming to you with excitement about a new idea or achievement, only to be met with skepticism or a list of potential downsides. Over time, these moments can discourage them from sharing their thoughts, fearing they'll encounter criticism or negativity instead of support or curiosity. Gradually, they may retreat, limiting conversations to surface-level topics or avoiding interaction altogether. This creates an invisible barrier that can be hard to break down, unintentionally widening the generational gap. Now consider how a simple shift in mindset can transform these interactions. When you feel the urge to point out a flaw or complain, pause and ask yourself, is this response helpful or encouraging? Instead of immediately focusing on a negative, try expressing genuine curiosity about their experiences or ideas. For example, if they mention a trend or activity you're unfamiliar with, ask them to explain why they enjoy it or what excites them about it. This not only keeps the conversation open, but also fosters a shared sense of respect and understanding. Gratitude practices can also play a significant role in reshaping these dynamics. Start small, perhaps by making a habit of acknowledging the positive qualities you see in younger individuals, whether it's their creativity, resilience, or passion for new endeavors. Verbalizing this appreciation can help build a bridge of trust and connection. Additionally, adopting solutions-oriented thinking can empower both you and them to approach challenges constructively. If they bring up an issue instead of adding to their worries, consider brainstorming ways to address it together. By redirecting energy from complaints to collaboration, you not only strengthen these relationships, but also create a more uplifting and engaging atmosphere for everyone involved. As we continue exploring the evolving habits that come with age, let's delve into a tendency many experience: the habit of ignoring personal health, and uncover how it can quietly affect your overall well-being. Now turning to the next challenge, let's address the habit of ignoring personal health as we age, a tendency that often sneaks up on us without much notice. It might start innocently enough, like brushing off mild aches or postponing an annual checkup because, well, life gets busy or it simply feels inconvenient. But over time, these small dismissals can snowball into larger problems. What begins as skipping a routine doctor visit could lead to missing early warning signs of conditions that, if caught early, might have been easier to manage. Aging bodies often require more attention, yet the paradox is that many of us grow less inclined to give it. Whether it's reluctance to confront potential health issues or the belief that certain symptoms are just part of getting older, this mindset can have serious consequences. For example, ignoring persistent fatigue or unusual discomfort might mean overlooking something your body is trying to communicate about deeper health concerns. While it's understandable to feel apprehensive about medical consultations or lifestyle adjustments, the cost of avoidance is far greater than the inconvenience of action. Imagine the peace of mind that comes from knowing you're taking proactive steps to stay healthy, steps that ensure you remain active and engaged in the lives of those you care about. Prioritizing personal health doesn't have to feel overwhelming. Start with small, consistent habits. Schedule those overdue checkups and treat them as non-negotiable appointments, not optional errands. Pay attention to your body's signals and seek guidance when something feels off, rather than brushing it aside. Make daily choices that support your overall well-being, like incorporating more whole foods into your meals or dedicating just 30 minutes a day to physical activity. Even simple actions like staying hydrated or getting enough sleep can make a world of difference. Remember, maintaining your health isn't just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. When you prioritize your well-being, you can enjoy more of the moments that truly matter. With this in mind, let's explore how you can take an even more active role in shaping your future by embracing proactive habits for aging gracefully. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let's dive into the concept of proactive aging, an empowering approach that puts you firmly in control of your health and well-being as the years go by. Proactive aging isn't about trying to turn back the clock. Instead, it's about embracing habits that help you feel your best today and in the future. One of the most impactful ways to do this is through regular physical activity. This doesn't mean you need to train like an athlete. Even moderate movement, such as daily walks, light stretching, or yoga, can work wonders for your body and mind. Exercise improves circulation, supports joint health, and releases feel-good endorphins that uplift your mood. Pairing this with balanced nutrition is equally crucial. Think of food as fuel for your body, a way to nourish yourself from the inside out. Focus on incorporating a variety of colorful vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, and healthy fats into your meals. Simple changes like swapping out processed snacks for fresh fruits or nuts can make a noticeable difference over time. But proactive aging doesn't stop at physical health. Mental wellness deserves just as much attention. Cultivating habits like mindfulness or meditation can be game-changing, helping you manage stress and stay mentally sharp. Make time for activities that bring you joy, whether it's reading, gardening, or catching up with friends. Social connections, in particular, play a vital role in emotional well-being and can even contribute to a longer, healthier life. Another powerful step is prioritizing quality sleep. Rest isn't just about recharging your energy, it's when your body repairs itself and your mind consolidates memories. Creating a bedtime routine, such as limiting screen time before sleep or winding down with a calming ritual, can improve the quality of your rest. And don't forget to hydrate. Staying properly hydrated supports everything from energy levels to skin health. Being proactive also means staying informed. Pay attention to new health research or recommendations, and don't shy away from asking questions during medical appointments. The more you understand about your body's needs, the better equipped you'll be to meet them. Ultimately, proactive aging is about making small, sustainable choices that add up to big benefits over time. It's a reminder that you have a say in how you feel and live as you grow older. By taking these steps today, you're investing in a richer, more fulfilling tomorrow. With this foundation in place, let's uncover another habit that often creeps in with age: the tendency to indulge in chronic gossiping and its surprising effects on relationships. As the next challenge unfolds, let's talk about chronic gossiping, a habit that for some becomes more tempting with age. Gossip often starts innocently as a way to connect or pass the time, but overindulging in this behavior can lead to unintended consequences. Picture this: a casual conversation about someone who isn't present turns into a cycle of sharing personal details, speculating, and sometimes even judging. While it might seem harmless, gossip can quietly deteriorate trust in relationships, both with the person being discussed and with those participating in the conversation. People often question, if they're speaking this way about someone else, what might they say about me when I'm not around? This erosion of trust can push others away, leaving you feeling more isolated. Gossiping also has a way of breeding negativity. Dwelling on others' flaws or missteps shifts your focus away from positivity and personal growth, creating an atmosphere that feels heavy and unkind. Furthermore, it often perpetuates misunderstandings or spreads incomplete stories, leading to unnecessary conflicts and strained connections. Over time, this habit, though seemingly small, can impact how people perceive you. Someone who gossips excessively risks being seen as untrustworthy or unkind. But here's the good news: breaking free from chronic gossiping is entirely possible. It starts with a simple intention to shift the focus of conversations. Instead of centering discussions on others' shortcomings, what if you redirected them toward shared interests or uplifting topics? For instance, instead of dissecting someone else's choices, try asking questions that deepen connections, like, what's something exciting you're looking forward to? Or what's been inspiring you lately? This not only diffuses the urge to gossip, but also creates more meaningful and enriching dialogues. Another approach is to practice self-awareness. When you notice yourself starting to gossip, pause and ask, is this adding value to the conversation? How would I feel if someone spoke about me this way? This simple check-in can help reframe your perspective and guide you toward a more constructive direction. Additionally, surrounding yourself with people who model positive and respectful communication can make a big difference. When the environment around you discourages gossip, it becomes easier to let go of the habit. Remember, every conversation is an opportunity to strengthen trust and build deeper connections. By stepping away from gossip, you're not only fostering healthier relationships, but also cultivating a more positive and uplifting atmosphere wherever you go. With this insight into chronic gossiping, let's explore how the habit of becoming overly domineering can quietly affect your interactions with others as you grow older. Now turning to the power of building positive conversations, imagine how transforming casual chatter into meaningful dialogue can significantly strengthen your relationships. When you make an intentional effort to focus on uplifting and constructive topics, it changes the entire tone of an interaction. Instead of dwelling on what someone else may have done wrong or sharing unnecessary details about someone's life, consider questions or topics that bring value and connection. For example, you might ask, what's a passion project you've been working on? Or, what's something you've learned recently that surprised you? These types of questions signal genuine interest and invite deeper, more engaging responses. When conversations shift in this direction, you not only create a more positive environment, but also make others feel seen, valued, and understood. Over time, people will naturally gravitate toward you because your presence feels refreshing and encouraging, leaving a lasting impression of trust and respect. Simple shifts in language can also go a long way. Instead of pointing out flaws, try offering compliments or acknowledgements like, I really admire how you handled that situation, or your perspective on this is so insightful. These affirmations help nurture a sense of mutual appreciation and set the foundation for stronger, healthier bonds. Another strategy to build positive conversations is to practice active listening. This involves giving the other person your full attention, asking thoughtful follow-up questions, and reflecting back what you hear to show that you're genuinely engaged. For instance, if someone shares a recent challenge or achievement, you could respond with, that sounds like it took a lot of effort. How did you manage to overcome it? This not only deepens the dialogue, but also fosters a sense of connection and trust. By focusing on meaningful, respectful, and enriching interactions, you can reframe the way you connect with others and create relationships that thrive on mutual understanding and positivity. With this foundation in place, let's now delve into how becoming overly domineering can quietly impact your relationships as you grow older. Moving forward, let's examine how becoming overly domineering can subtly damage relationships as you grow older. With age often comes wisdom and experience, but sometimes this can manifest as an overwhelming need to take control or impose opinions on others. While it might stem from good intentions, such as wanting to guide family members or help others avoid mistakes you've made, this behavior can quickly cross boundaries and feel overbearing. For instance, you might find yourself micromanaging your children's lives, even when they're fully capable adults, or interrupting conversations to correct someone or share your own perspective. These actions, though unintentional, can make others feel dismissed or undervalued, as if their choices or opinions aren't respected. Picture a scenario where a parent insists on organizing every aspect of a family event, even when others want to contribute. While their efforts might be appreciated initially, constant overstepping can cause frustration and lead others to feel excluded or resentful. Similarly, frequently interrupting discussions to assert your viewpoint might signal to others that their voice doesn't matter as much as yours, creating distance in the relationship. To avoid falling into this habit, try pausing before stepping in and ask yourself, is my input truly needed right now, or can I let them handle this on their own? Learning to trust others' abilities and giving them space to make their own decisions can strengthen mutual respect and collaboration. Recognizing when to step back is a powerful way to show that you value the autonomy and contributions of those around you. By fostering a balance between offering guidance and allowing independence, you create an environment where relationships can flourish with trust and respect. With this idea in mind, let's explore the importance of listening skills and how they can counteract the tendency to dominate conversations. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let's delve into the transformative power of listening skills and how they can significantly improve relationships, especially as you grow older. Active listening is more than just hearing words. It's about truly understanding and valuing the perspective of the person speaking. This simple yet profound act conveys respect, empathy, and a willingness to engage on a deeper level. Imagine a conversation where someone feels genuinely heard, their thoughts acknowledged without interruption or judgment. It builds trust and fosters an environment where open, honest dialogue can thrive. On the other hand, failing to listen actively, whether by interrupting, dismissing, or mentally preparing your next response while the other person speaks, can create barriers and hurt feelings, leading to misunderstandings or even resentment. To practice active listening, start by giving your full attention. Put away distractions like your phone or other devices, maintain eye contact, and use subtle affirmations such as nodding or saying, "I understand," to show you're engaged. Resist the urge to jump in with solutions or shift the conversation back to yourself. Instead, ask thoughtful questions that encourage the other person to elaborate, like, "How did that make you feel?" Or, "Can you tell me more about that?" This not only shows your interest but also allows them to express themselves more fully. Patience and empathy are key components of effective listening. If someone's viewpoint differs from yours, try to see things through their lens, even if you don't agree. Empathy doesn't require you to share the same opinion. It's about acknowledging and respecting their feelings and experiences. Over time, this practice can lead to stronger, more meaningful relationships where all parties feel valued and understood. Learning to listen actively might seem simple, but its impact is enormous. It's a skill that can transform your connections with others and help counter tendencies like dominating conversations. As we embrace the art of listening, let's now transition into another common habit that can quietly take hold with age: developing a fixed mindset. Now, turning to the idea of developing a fixed mindset, this can be one of the sneakiest habits to creep in as we age. With years of life experience under your belt, it's easy to feel that your way of thinking is the most valid or that you've seen it all. This belief can make you resistant to new ideas, perspectives, or technologies, creating a barrier between you and the ever-evolving world around you. For instance, you might dismiss modern gadgets or digital innovations, thinking they're unnecessary or too complicated to learn. Or perhaps you find yourself rejecting differing opinions outright, convinced that your long-held beliefs are superior. It's important to recognize that while experience is valuable, it doesn't mean there's nothing more to learn. The world is constantly changing, and staying open to those changes allows you to grow alongside it. Imagine a scenario where someone decides not to learn how to use a smartphone, convinced they don't need it. This choice might initially feel like standing firm in familiarity, but over time, it can lead to isolation as the world increasingly relies on digital communication. Similarly, dismissing younger generations' viewpoints by saying, "In my day, things were better," can create unnecessary divisions, making it harder to connect and collaborate. To combat a fixed mindset, try approaching life with curiosity and a willingness to explore. When faced with something unfamiliar, instead of saying, "This isn't for me," ask yourself, "What can I learn from this?" For example, if a friend suggests a new app or technological tool, take a moment to explore it and consider the benefits it might bring. If someone offers an opinion that clashes with yours, instead of shutting it down, ask questions to understand their perspective. You don't have to agree, but being open enough to listen can broaden your own views. Cultivating a growth-oriented mindset isn't about abandoning your values or beliefs. It's about enriching them through new experiences and perspectives. By staying open to change, you not only keep your mind active, but also ensure that you remain adaptable and connected in a dynamic world. And as we reflect on the importance of flexibility, let's move ahead to another pitfall that can hinder personal and social harmony: assuming the worst. As the next challenge unfolds, embracing lifelong learning becomes a crucial antidote to a fixed mindset. Keeping life exciting and fulfilling often comes down to the willingness to continually adapt and expand your horizons. Think about how acquiring a new skill or exploring an unfamiliar topic can invigorate your sense of purpose. It could be as simple as learning to play a musical instrument, picking up a new language, or even diving into gardening. These pursuits not only challenge your brain, but also bring a refreshing sense of accomplishment. Staying informed about current trends, whether in technology, culture, or lifestyle, can also keep you connected to the world around you. For instance, if you notice a buzz about a new digital tool or social platform, instead of dismissing it outright, take a moment to understand its impact and how it might enrich your own life. Lifelong learning isn't about becoming an expert in everything. It's about engaging with the world as an active participant rather than a distant observer. By committing to learning, you tap into a reservoir of vitality and curiosity that transcends age. Imagine someone in their later years joining a local book club or enrolling in an online course. These simple acts not only expand their knowledge but also provide opportunities to connect with people of all ages and backgrounds. This spirit of curiosity and adaptability fosters resilience, enabling you to face life's changes with greater confidence and joy. As you embrace learning and growth, you'll find that the possibilities for personal development are endless, no matter what stage of life you're in. And with this mindset of curiosity in place, let's explore an all-too-common habit that can disrupt both inner peace and relationships: assuming the worst. Now turning to the next challenge, assuming the worst is a pattern that can creep in as the years go by, often without conscious awareness. This habit involves expecting negative outcomes in situations or doubting the intentions of others, even when there's no evidence to support such fears. Imagine someone interpreting a brief text message as rude or believing a family member's delay in responding is intentional neglect. These assumptions can create unnecessary stress, sour interactions, and strain even the closest of relationships. Much of this tendency stems from past experiences when life has thrown disappointments your way. It's natural to develop a protective mechanism, bracing yourself for the worst. However, this outlook can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, as negative expectations often influence how you perceive and react to the world around you. For example, imagine walking into a conversation already convinced that someone is upset with you. Your defensive tone might provoke a tense response, reinforcing the very negativity you feared. Breaking free from this cycle starts with mindful observation of your thoughts. Before jumping to conclusions, pause to ask yourself, what evidence supports this assumption? Often, you'll find there is none. Practice adopting a perspective of curiosity rather than judgment, allowing yourself to explore other possible explanations for someone's behavior. Perhaps that delayed text reply is a result of their busy schedule, not a measure of how much they value you. Reframing your mindset to focus on neutral or positive possibilities can make a significant difference. Developing trust both in others and in life itself is also key. Begin with small acts like giving someone the benefit of the doubt or choosing to see a setback as a learning opportunity instead of a disaster. Over time, these shifts in perspective not only improve your interactions with others, but also bring a sense of peace and balance to your own mind. And as we aim to cultivate optimism and trust, let's turn our attention to a related yet often overlooked habit, talking down to younger people. As the next challenge unfolds, let's delve deeper into cultivating trust and optimism to counteract the habit of assuming the worst. Building trust begins with small, intentional steps. Start by giving others the benefit of the doubt in everyday situations. For example, if a coworker misses a deadline, rather than jumping to the conclusion that they are irresponsible, consider that they might be overwhelmed or dealing with unforeseen circumstances. Extending this grace not only fosters better relationships, but also allows you to approach interactions with a sense of fairness and understanding. Optimism, on the other hand, is like a muscle that strengthens with use. Begin by practicing gratitude. Take a moment each day to reflect on the positive aspects of your life, no matter how small. Perhaps it's the kindness of a stranger, a good cup of coffee, or a productive workday. This simple habit can shift your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant, creating a more hopeful outlook over time. Another powerful tool is reframing. When faced with a challenge, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Or how could this situation turn out better than I expect? For instance, rather than viewing a disagreement with a friend as the end of the relationship, look at it as an opportunity to better understand each other. Developing optimism doesn't mean ignoring life's difficulties, but rather choosing to see those difficulties as temporary and surmountable. Remember, how you perceive the world often reflects in how the world responds to you. By actively building trust in others and choosing optimism, your social interactions become lighter, more genuine, and more fulfilling. When you open yourself up to the possibility of positive outcomes, you create space for deeper connections and a more peaceful state of mind. And now, as we move forward, let's address a behavior that can subtly surface with age, talking down to younger people. Now turning to the habit of talking down to younger people, this is a behavior that often sneaks in unnoticed as we age. It might start with well-meaning advice but can quickly shift into coming across as condescending or dismissive. For example, phrases like, "You'll understand when you're older," or "Back in my day, we did it better," might seem harmless, but they can alienate younger generations. These comments can make others feel undervalued or as though their opinions and experiences are less valid simply because of their age. Yes, life experience is a treasure, but it's important to remember that wisdom doesn't just flow one way. Younger people often bring fresh perspectives, innovative ideas, and energy that can teach us just as much as we teach them. Instead of assuming a position of superiority, try engaging in conversations from a place of curiosity and mutual respect. Ask questions like, "What do you think about this?" or "What's your take on this topic?" Such questions not only foster deeper connections but also show that you value their input. Remember, mentorship is not about dictating, it's about guiding and sharing knowledge in a way that feels collaborative. Avoid the temptation to overuse personal anecdotes as a way of one-upping others. Instead, share experiences only when they genuinely enrich the discussion. For example, instead of saying, "You have no idea how hard it used to be," you might phrase it as, "Things were really different when I was starting out." I'd love to hear how you're approaching this today. This creates a bridge rather than a barrier, showing humility and an openness to change. When you focus on listening as much as speaking, you not only strengthen relationships but also demonstrate that respect is a two-way street. By avoiding the habit of talking down to younger people and cultivating an attitude of equality, you pave the way for meaningful, enriching intergenerational interactions. Up next, we'll explore another behavior that can limit growth and experiences, avoiding new opportunities. As the next challenge unfolds, bridging the generational gap becomes not only an opportunity but a necessity for fostering mutual respect and understanding. Relationships between generations thrive when both sides approach interactions with openness and a willingness to learn from one another. Instead of seeing differences as barriers, view them as opportunities to gain new perspectives. For example, while older individuals bring a wealth of experience and wisdom, younger generations often contribute innovative ideas and skills, especially in fields like technology and contemporary problem solving. A great way to bridge this gap is through constructive mentorship. This doesn't mean imposing your way as the only way, but rather sharing your experiences while staying curious about theirs. For instance, if a younger person is navigating a career decision, instead of saying, "This is how you should do it," consider offering your story with a question like, "When I faced something similar, I found this helpful. What options are you considering?" This approach opens up dialogue rather than closing it off with directives. Similarly, be open to learning from younger individuals. Ask about their experiences, listen to their viewpoints, and genuinely value their input. If they have a skill you're less familiar with, such as using new technology or navigating modern trends, don't hesitate to ask for guidance. This not only shows humility, but also creates a reciprocal relationship where both parties feel respected and valued. Another effective method is sharing activities that bring both generations together. Collaborative projects, whether it's volunteering, creative pursuits, or even tackling small challenges together, provide shared spaces to bond and learn. These interactions naturally allow for an exchange of ideas and build a sense of partnership. Remember, the essence of bridging the generational gap lies in respect, curiosity, and empathy. When both sides feel heard and appreciated, the result is a relationship that enriches everyone involved, creating a harmony that transcends age. Moving forward, let's delve into another common tendency that can hold us back as we age, avoiding new experiences. As the next phase of the journey comes into focus, avoiding new experiences becomes a habit that many unknowingly fall into with age. Over time, the comfort of routine can feel like a safe haven, but it often builds invisible walls around us, limiting growth and excitement. The tendency to stay within these comfort zones can lead to resistance against trying anything unfamiliar, whether it's traveling to a new destination, exploring the latest technology, or stepping into social situations where you don't know anyone. This reluctance might stem from a fear of failure, embarrassment, or simply the belief that new things are no longer necessary. However, this mindset can rob us of countless opportunities to enrich our lives. Take travel, for instance. It's not uncommon for older individuals to shy away from venturing to unfamiliar places, opting instead for destinations they've already been to. While there's nothing wrong with revisiting favorite spots, exploring new locations often brings fresh perspectives and unforgettable memories. Even diving into technology can feel intimidating. Whether it's learning to use a smartphone feature or setting up a social media account, these challenges are easy to dismiss as not for me. But by taking the leap, you might discover tools that make life more convenient and help you stay connected with loved ones. The same applies to social events. It's tempting to decline invitations to gatherings where you know few people, yet stepping out of this bubble can lead to meaningful connections and expand your social circle in unexpected ways. The key is to remind yourself that every new experience, no matter how small, has the potential to add something valuable to your life. The world is brimming with possibilities, and staying open to them can bring a sense of vitality and curiosity that keeps life enriching. With this perspective in mind, let's explore how rediscovering adventure can help us break through those self-imposed barriers. With the next phase of the journey in sight, rediscovering adventure begins with small, approachable steps that gently nudge you out of your comfort zone. Start by exploring local attractions you've never visited before. Many times, people overlook the hidden gems in their own neighborhoods, thinking they'll always be there. Why not take the time to visit that nearby museum, park, or local event you've always meant to check out? These small outings can spark curiosity and bring a refreshing change to the routine. Another great way to reignite a sense of adventure is by joining a community class. Whether it's a cooking workshop, an art session, or even a beginner's dance class, these opportunities not only teach you new skills but also connect you with like-minded individuals. The beauty of these experiences lies in their ability to remind you how much there is still to learn and enjoy. Even trying something as simple as a new type of cuisine can add a touch of excitement to your day. It's not about making drastic changes, but rather about finding little ways to keep life interesting and dynamic. By staying curious and saying yes to new opportunities, you create room for joy, growth, and the kinds of stories that make life feel vibrant. Now let's transition to another habit that often creeps in as we age: forgetting gratitude. Now turning to the often overlooked habit of forgetting gratitude. It's surprising how easily this can slip into our daily lives as we age. Over time, it can become second nature to focus on what's missing, what could have been, or what's not going right instead of pausing to appreciate what we already have. This mindset shift, though subtle, can have a profound impact on both personal happiness and relationships. Think about it: when we dwell on the negatives, we not only dampen our own spirits, but also risk creating a negative atmosphere around us. Loved ones, friends, and even casual acquaintances can sense this energy, which might unintentionally push them away or make interactions feel less enjoyable. Gratitude, in its purest form, is about shifting our perspective. It's not about ignoring life's challenges, but about recognizing and valuing the positives that coexist with them. For example, instead of lamenting physical changes that come with aging, try focusing on what your body still allows you to do, whether it's taking a walk, enjoying a meal, or sharing a laugh with a loved one. Similarly, rather than fixating on what you don't have, take a moment to reflect on the people, experiences, and simple pleasures that make life meaningful. Gratitude doesn't just improve mood, it strengthens bonds and fosters deeper connections. A heartfelt thank you to someone can go a long way in showing them they matter, and acknowledging their contributions can often inspire them to reciprocate the kindness. By making a conscious effort to incorporate gratitude into your daily life, you can open the door to more joy and connection. Even small acts like keeping a gratitude journal or taking a moment each day to silently appreciate something good can reframe your mindset over time. Gratitude is not only a gift to others, but a gift to yourself, redirecting your focus to what truly matters. As we explore this further, it's worth noting how resisting change, another habit that quietly emerges with age, can also hold us back from this sense of fulfillment and growth. As the next challenge unfolds, let's focus on how we can actively practice gratitude in our daily lives. It all starts with simple, conscious actions. One effective approach is to keep a gratitude journal. Each day, take a few minutes to jot down 3 things you're thankful for. These don't have to be grand or life-changing. Something as small as enjoying a sunny morning, having a meaningful conversation, or savoring your favorite beverage can be worth noting. Over time, this practice helps train your mind to naturally seek out positives instead of dwelling on negatives. Another powerful way to integrate gratitude is by expressing it openly to others. Telling a friend, family member, or even a colleague how much you appreciate them can be deeply rewarding, not just for the person receiving it but for you as well. A sincere thank you or a kind word of acknowledgement can brighten someone's day and reinforce bonds that might otherwise weaken over time. Beyond direct interactions, taking quiet moments to reflect on positive experiences can also be transformative. Perhaps at the end of each day or during a relaxing walk, you can pause and think about what went well or what brought you joy. This mindful reflection helps you build an inner reservoir of positive emotions that you can draw on during harder times. The beauty of practicing gratitude is that it doesn't require major life changes. It's about small, consistent efforts that shift your perspective and reshape how you experience the world. By embracing gratitude, you allow yourself to live more fully in the moment, appreciate what you have, and foster deeper connections with those around you. It's a practice that grows stronger the more you engage with it, bringing lasting benefits not only to your mental health, but also to your relationships and overall sense of well-being. As we embrace these small yet impactful habits, it becomes easier to handle life's inevitable changes, which brings us to the next habit that often sneaks into our lives as we age: resentment toward change. As the next challenge unfolds, let's delve into the tendency to develop resentment toward change, a habit that often creeps in as we age. Change, whether it's societal, cultural, or personal, can feel unsettling. It's natural to find comfort in what is familiar, but this resistance can sometimes lead to bitterness or frustration when the world around us continues to evolve. Think about how easy it is to dismiss new music trends as noise, or to reject the latest workplace tools because the old way worked just fine. These feelings may stem from a deeper sense of nostalgia or even fear of the unknown. However, this resistance doesn't just affect how we adapt, it can also place barriers between us and others, especially younger generations who might view change as exciting or necessary. Imagine a scenario where a grandparent lovingly shares stories of the past but follows it with a dismissive remark like, "Things were better back then." While it might seem harmless, it can create a divide, making younger people feel as though their present and future are being undervalued. Similarly, clinging to old routines or habits in the workplace while rejecting modern tools might alienate colleagues or make collaboration more challenging. And it's not just about external changes. Personal growth can also become stifled when we resist adjustments in our own lives, whether it's declining to adopt healthier habits, avoiding new experiences, or clinging to outdated perspectives. Change, while often uncomfortable, is a constant part of life. When we embrace it rather than fight it, we open the door to new opportunities, deeper connections, and a greater sense of adaptability. By learning to view change as a chance for growth rather than a disruption, we not only foster a more positive outlook, but also make it easier to connect with a world that never stops moving. As we explore how to better embrace the uncertainties that come with life, let's take a closer look at how balancing comfort and discipline plays a crucial role in maintaining our overall well-being. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let's explore how embracing change can actually become a source of strength and growth. While it's tempting to view change as a disruption, the truth is, it can be one of life's greatest catalysts for empowerment. Consider the story of an older individual who decides to learn a new language after relocating to a different country. At first, the unfamiliar words and grammar feel overwhelming, but over time, this person not only masters basic communication, but also builds meaningful connections in their new community. This transformation isn't just about language, it's about embracing a new way of living and proving to themselves that growth is always possible, no matter the age. Or think about someone who, after decades of avoiding exercise, takes up yoga in their 70s. What starts as a small step to improve flexibility turns into a passion that strengthens their body and mind, while also introducing them to a supportive group of like-minded individuals. These are not isolated examples, they're reminders that change, no matter how intimidating at first, carries the potential to open doors we never knew existed. By stepping outside of what feels safe and familiar, we challenge ourselves to adapt, learn, and thrive. It might mean experimenting with a new hobby, embracing modern technology, or simply shifting a mindset that no longer serves us. Each small choice to adapt reinforces our resilience and sense of control over life's uncertainties. Instead of letting change feel like an external force we must endure, we can actively participate in shaping how we adapt to it. Growth isn't about perfection, it's about progress. By recognizing change as an opportunity rather than a threat, we not only expand our own horizons but also inspire those around us to do the same. As we transition to the next idea, let's uncover how balancing comfort and discipline can lead to a more fulfilling and purposeful life. Now turning to the habit of overindulging in comforts, it's easy to see why this often sneaks into our lives as we get older. Whether it's reaching for that extra helping of dessert, spending hours on end in front of the television, or postponing physical activity in favor of lounging, these small indulgences can quietly grow into patterns that are hard to break. Initially, they offer a sense of ease and relaxation, a way to reward ourselves after a long day or distract from life's challenges. But over time, these habits can take a toll. Excessive comfort foods may lead to long-term health issues like weight gain or higher risks of chronic diseases, while a sedentary lifestyle can weaken both the body and mind. Think about how skipping one workout turns into a week, then a month, and suddenly, physical activity feels like a monumental task. Or consider how a small daily treat morphs into a dependency, leaving you feeling sluggish and out of sync with your body. The truth is, seeking comfort isn't inherently bad. It's natural to want to unwind and enjoy life's pleasures, but the key lies in moderation and balance. Imagine treating yourself to a slice of cake one evening but balancing it with a brisk walk the next morning, or indulging in your favorite show but pausing between episodes to stretch or move around. These small choices can create a healthier relationship with comfort, turning it into a momentary joy rather than a long-term crutch. By setting limits, like designating specific times for treats or ensuring some form of daily movement, we can enjoy life's pleasures without letting them derail our well-being. It's about shifting from mindless habits to mindful indulgences, pausing to ask ourselves, is this adding value to my life or is it holding me back? When we approach our comforts with intention and discipline, we can still savor their sweetness while staying aligned with our goals. And as we wrap up this journey through life's unnoticed patterns, let's take a moment to reflect on the bigger picture and how self-awareness can guide us toward a more meaningful path forward. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let's delve deeper into balancing comfort and discipline. As comforting as life's small pleasures can be, it's the discipline behind them that ensures they remain moments of joy rather than sources of regret. Think about how creating a structure around your indulgences can actually enhance your enjoyment. For example, instead of reaching for snacks throughout the day, set aside a specific time to truly savor that treat without distraction. This simple act of mindfulness not only makes the experience more satisfying but also helps you stay in control. Similarly, when it comes to relaxation, consider introducing a healthy boundary. If you love watching your favorite series, limit your screen time and follow it up with an activity that re-energizes you, like a walk or tidying up a corner of your space. These small shifts can bring a sense of accomplishment that amplifies the comfort you felt earlier, not to mention, They prevent you from feeling overwhelmed by excess or inactivity. Discipline doesn't mean denying yourself. It means making conscious choices that align with the life you want to lead, and it isn't just about physical well-being. Cultivating discipline can strengthen your mental resilience too. Practices like setting a routine, prioritizing time for gratitude, or even learning when to say no can protect your mental health and help you avoid overextending yourself. Picture a life where your comforts are intentional pauses that recharge you rather than habits that drain you. A balanced approach allows you to enjoy life's sweetness while sustaining your overall vitality. The path forward is not about perfection, but about making adjustments that align with your highest values. By practicing self-discipline in small yet consistent ways, you're not only fostering a healthier body and mind, but also creating space for greater fulfillment and growth. As we bring attention to these transformative habits, let's look toward the future and embrace the power of awareness in shaping a better, more intentional life ahead. As the sun sets on this insightful journey through the 15 ugly things we tend to do as we get older without even realizing it, let's take a moment to reflect. We've uncovered hidden habits like neglecting our appearance, becoming cynical, hoarding possessions, overusing nostalgia, and complaining more often. We've also addressed the risks of ignoring health, indulging in gossip, becoming overly domineering, or developing a fixed mindset. The list continued with assuming the worst, talking down to younger people, avoiding new experiences, forgetting gratitude, resisting change, and overindulging in comforts. Each of these behaviors, though common, can hinder the quality of our lives and relationships in ways we might not have considered before. But here's the good news: awareness is the first step toward change. By recognizing these patterns, you've already started the process of transformation. Imagine how much lighter and more fulfilled life can feel when we let go of these habits and replace them with mindful, intentional practices. Whether it's taking time to show gratitude, embracing new experiences, or nurturing positivity in our interactions, even small shifts can lead to profound growth. This is your chance to take stock, reflect, and make choices that align with the best version of yourself. Your journey doesn't end here, it's just beginning. Let us know your thoughts below. Are there habits you've noticed in yourself or others? Share your experiences, because every story adds value to this community. And if this video sparked even a small moment of reflection, please support us by subscribing to the channel, hitting the like button, and turning on those notifications. Together, we can continue exploring ways to live more consciously and joyfully. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next video.